99% of feminists are lonely, bitter, and living a lie, and they will never admit it. Let's rip off the mask today and expose the truth. These women will never post online. Most of these loud, masculine, overeducated feminists are broken, depressed, and lonely as hell. Yes, she's got the money. Yes, she's got the degrees. Yes, she works in a big firm, drives a fancy car, and owns a big house. But when the noise dies down at night, she's in that king-size bed alone with a cat, a vibrator, and regret. You feel me there, man?
I got you.
Alone in bed and regret.
I got you. So, all right. Before we explore all of these regrets and loneliness and regrets, what about men who are also stingy, not abiding by who are not sensitive to women's needs? Are not they living with a cat and a porn movie and regrets? I'm just balancing the scale here. Wait a second. I had the points that you mentioned earlier on, that the woman has been upscaling herself, has got degrees, has got the money, has got everything. What makes you think that they have not achieved in life? If they have achieved those things, must they achieve another human being in your standards as men? But let's delve on it and discuss all of these regrets and living with a cat alone.
I see. So you always want to advocate for the opposite sex, which is allowed, but
we need to balance the scale. We need to balance the scale.
Regretting in bed with a cat was my last statement, if you remember. But anyways, welcome back. Today's topic what is today's topic?
Today's topic.
We name it? We forgot to name this topic.
No, we have not. It's living with a cat with regrets.
Yes. Living with a cat, a vibrator, and regret.
I did not want to mention that vibrator because everybody's vibrating these days. I mean, the phone is vibrating, everything is vibrating. So that's
living with a cat, a vibrator, and regret.
A vibrating phone.
A vibrating cat and a vibrating phone. Everything has to vibrate. Okay, so it's Sagas of Couplehood again. We back. We took a long break, which we were not supposed to do that, but we're trying to up our game and get all the arsenal so that we come in full force. And as always, I say we thank you for taking time to listen to Sagas of Couplehood week in, week out. You listen to our topics, and we had a beautiful festive season. I know after festive season, we couldn't get a fruitful show after that. But as from now going onwards, we are back on fire. And as usual, it's DJ Wicked Nomzo. Hey!
We are back.
Sisani Rust, man. I score short, so sit.
All right.
I'm trying, but we're gonna try it.
Okay, let's delve on it, Wayne. Let's delve on it. It's me.
Let me bring the last statement first for you to hear it. Living with a cat, a vibrator, and regret.
What's wrong with that?
When I'm Zoe, I wanna. With the 41 episodes that we've done prior to today, we have mentioned constantly that life has evolved and things have changed as how life was treated 20, 30 years back ago.
Mm-hmm.
And today, when you ask me, what's the problem with somebody living with a cat and a vibrator and regret. There is a problem in that.
No,
We need reproduction.
The problem here, Wayne, I have with this statement is that this is pointed to one direction. And then there's a man that earlier on I made a statement, and that statement is trying to neutralize what we are talking about here so that we center it. Also, a man can be left with a dog, a lubricator, and regrets. Is that not possible?
No. Are we talking about African men here? So, I mean, I'm yet to find an African man who is left with a dog and a vibrator.
No, not a vibrator. You don't get my point. My point is on the choices that we make in life. You're trying to portray a misfortune of a successful woman, that they are going to be lonely at the end of the day, left with a cat and just a vibrator. So it means that were they not supposed to be successful? And instead of chasing that success, they must chase to be in a relationship. So are you deeming that person as a failure? This is my take on this.
No, not really. But you see,
whose failure is it? Is it her failure, or her standards are too high, or what is it?
You see, so the life that we have adapted to as of today leaves us in these consequences. Why? Because we try and mix and match Western life in our own African lifestyle. Why? Because now when we grow up, I think your parents will tell you, I want you to go to school, I want you to finish school and be a teacher, and ushate umfazi ube nabantwana, I want ndifuna abazukulu.
Wayne, I don't want us to go to that route again. I'll tell you why. Both you and I know that we're living in a modern society.
Oh yeah, you have mentioned.
And
that.
Then there's no going back now.
Yeah.
There's no going back now. Yes, we may reminisce on the wonderful times where life was simple, but life is no longer simple. And then you think people are going to. We are moving forward forever, backwards never. So by that I'm trying to say that us reminiscing of how things were going, women have been empowered. Whether you like feminism or you hate feminism, it is here to stay. And then it is here to shape the future. But instead of... I'm yet to see a day when men start to take an action or to play their role in feminism. So that feminism is not only fought by women. At that point in time, then that is when we will be fully understanding. In the same token way, I still want to say that I don't want to revert to that episode I did with Ulihle here about fragile masculinity, because even masculinity. So now, as much as feminism is not here to shrink masculinity, but it is here to claim its space that has been occupied by people that felt like they should occupy more spaces than their own. I'll keep quiet.
I mean, I could have missed some of the vocabulary that you uttered there in your statement, but in I mean, the more life evolves, things change. You have mentioned this in previous episodes that life evolves and things change, and life today can never be as how life was the time of Cecil John Rhodes. But now, if you check the divorce rate today, it's wayward. It's crazy how people just go into a relationship and 2 minutes later they're out of the relationship. I think this behavior of women thinking they are so empowered, and but now they think now they probably have the balls and they equal and equate themselves to men. Now, this is why we have such a high divorce rate. Why didn't we have this high divorce rate the time of Rose and the time of our grandmothers?
So, I have a
I'm
question.
with you when you say, let's support the fact that women have to somehow equate to us men because we are all human beings. But I think for a home to progress and be a recognized home, we need a head of the house. I mean, my mother has chickens in the house. Mleqa. I don't know how you say that in English, but the African chicken, free range chicken. There only has to be one cock who is at the helm of everything that happens there, and he has sex with all the chickens, and they all abide to what this cock is smooth, whatever it is. That's why even when the chicken has 10 eggs, she will relax there and lay on the 10 eggs and not mind when the cock is having an issue with another cock there, with another hen there.
Can I ask you? Can I chip in there? What about the chickens in the factory that are raised in the factory?
Yeah, these are the same chickens who equate to what life you want us to do today. This life.
Look, this is the reality, and this is the urban culture, and with the urban culture, I'm not trying to promote it, Wayne. I'm not trying to promote it, and also I'm not trying to promote feminism. What is it? Feminism. Is it feminism or feminists?
So we could have probably missed it before you go further.
Okay.
I just came in with that line where I talked about women finding themselves with a cat and a vibrator.
Okay.
Women of that caliber find themselves being more vocal when it comes to feminism. And again, for a layman on the street, please start by defining feminism.
Yeah, I think I get you. You are getting deeper into the. Now you are in the topic of what we want to talk about, and then maybe we misconstrue the intentions of feminism. Maybe feminism is I see it as a claim of space that it's like land reform, like that have been taken without your consent, and simply because of the system of the time. So same applies with feminism, but and then with urbanization and everything, there seems to be a blur in gender roles or anything. And you men who hold so much onto this Africanism and everything, you are holding onto power and feel offended by women who are standing up on their own, who are saying, no, we are actually equal as human. Because what tended to happen is that men tended to use their position in the society as a way of oppressing women. This is why we have this kind of this riot. If I want to call it a riot for now, but it's a claim of their space to say, look, man, we're equal.
So before I forget, I don't usually refer to wise men Scots, but at some point I got hold of a wise man, and they gave me a bit of an input when we come to feminism and how it all works. You see, today we're talking about how women have changed life and thought we are at equal footing when it comes to households and relations in life. But the same women, they would shout like, I'm enough on my own. Like wherever they are, they come out of the car in the parking lot and say, I'm enough on my own. Yeah, but like get to a party and say, I'm enough on my own. But deep down, they are drowning in therapy sessions, sleeping pills, and emotional exhaustion.
Okay. All right.
Because money makes you successful, but it doesn't make you desirable.
To whom?
To the society.
Not to the society. This is a man writing this. So it's a man who feels threatened by the fact that, okay, this woman is standing up on their own, and then they cannot. If he speaks finance, this woman speaks finance equally. If he speaks politics, this woman is on toes with politics and everything. And then this man is not used to a woman of this kind, and then is like, what is this? Is this a man or what? Can you take off your skirt? There must be something dingling there under that skirt. Kind of vibe. So because this guy is not used to this. So we are in a transition time, and the sooner the men try to warm up to this and try to transit, the sooner they'll let off the whatever they are holding on and embrace the future that is inevitable.
As when you actually talk about this story, you remind me, you see at my workplace, the Offin Hotel, how Constantia came to be in the Western Cape. There wasn't much happening in the Western Cape when the Van Riebeeck and all those guys came through. Everybody went for the gold rush in Johannesburg, seed of gold. That's why we call it egg gold. Yeah. But there were these 4 guys, I think 4, 5, 6 guys who made a lot of money out of gold. Then they came down to the Cape. And they wanted, Abelungu, that time they would want a place that is visible, that is nice. And they located Constantia. The weather, it's close to Hout Bay there.
There's a beach close by.
Then they shared that land amongst themselves. This is where you have Groot Constantia, Klein Constantia, the Alphen. Groot Constantia being the oldest wine farm in South Africa, built then in 17-something. But now, sorry man, how did I come to talk about this?
No. Yeah, go on. I want to know the history before I tell you. I remind you what we are on about.
But I'm lost how I came to.
It's more about holding on to the olden times. You were tapping into that.
No, I got lost. But those guys bought that land and they shared it amongst themselves. And we have Groot Constantia and being the oldest farm in South Africa. But there's a point I wanted to come up with that, man.
But it was all men who were doing all of these things. So all of this inequality.
Oh yes, I know where I wanted to go with this. Then there's the Alphen, which owns part of Wynberg and all that. So the parents there were I've forgotten the surnames, man. My terabyte is not working well. But they died. The parents died who had initially bought that plot, and they left their daughter. But back then in the 1920s in South Africa, you could not be an attorney if you are a she. A female could not be an attorney. So this daughter, I don't know how, but she started to be, we might need power there. She started to be an attorney. And she lived all her life dressing like a man. And going to represent people.
Oh my God.
You see, all her life, she would dress like a man and go and represent people in court. So, you see how important it is at times to be a man when I'm so.
No, I think it was. Yeah. Okay.
Because this is where I was going with it. This was life back then, where somebody lived, and they only discovered when she died.
And who do you want to blame for all of this?
No, I'm saying
You want to blame men, or you want to say that it was the order of the day.
it was the order of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that. I like that. So at some point, we as men need to realize that, okay, the spaces have been changing. Lights on for black, let's say black and white. So there were shifts there that got accommodated between black people. Let's talk about the black people struggles and rivalries between black and white. And then from slavery to everything to yeah, you guys know the history. I'm not a historian, but the transition that happened, that we thought it didn't happen without resistance, but somewhere, somehow, white people had to warm up to say, no, these people are human also, and therefore this is how things need to happen. Same applies with men. They also need to warm up to say, you know what, these are human beings that are very equal, that may potentially be higher than us, but now, due to maybe circumstances of the olden days or maybe how the systems work, because everything that you've been saying, Wayne, the order of the day, the woman, according to African, that chicken must do this with all of the hands. There must be one dondon in all of. Who said that? That is the way things should be going, as opposed to be saying, okay, I found these things going on like this. Have I explored any other way? Is there any other ways that these cats, these hands, want life to be?
You see, so we are reading a lot of books of late, and it's misdirecting how we as Africans are supposed to tackle life.
Somebody that we as Africans has got connotations of pulling us backwards as opposed to taking us forward. What's the way forward for an African?
That's a very good question.
Should we say stop technology, stop this, stop Facebook, stop internet, stop podcast?
Because now, so we have now these degreed women, $1 million women.
Is that a problem?
It's not a problem. But now when she's at 37, she starts screaming, where are all the real men? Where are all these real men? They are with women who didn't throw away their feminism. Femininity. I mean, that's where they are, all the real men.
Okay. I think, okay. Now you're standing firm on your point. Let me really engage on this, with this one, thoroughly now. Because I've been trying to beat about the bush and taking you generally everywhere else. Look, as a man, as an African man, as you've often emphasized, you're not used to this kind of thing where a woman is equivocal with you, or maybe has got the same amount of argument as you. You are used to saying yes. So are you trying to tell me that a woman, so when as a man, you are not going to stand for that if you are used to a yes baba, ewe baba, ewe Wayne, and
that worked for us. That worked for my grandparents.
It worked. Why are you holding on to it? The time. Don't look back. You're not going that way. You're going forward. As much as you want to reminisce on that one, you want to maybe emphasize the positive nature of that one, that there were no divorces, there were not everything. Who may have thought that our parents didn't want to divorce our grandparents, but simply because the system was forcing them to stay. They didn't even utter the word. They didn't even know that there was such a thing as divorce, but they stayed there simply because they had to. They endured all of that, all of whatever that was happening, because there was no other provision. Right now, people have wayward choices to make.
So, how many other women have you met in your previous encounters?
Incarnations.
And later on, with this life, encounters, and everything, they want to come back and be in your life. Well, you might not be
Everybody's
flexible to disclose this, but
everybody's
I'm
disgusted with me. Zero. Nobody wants to be with me ever.
I know of women who phone you and say, "Hey, Bomzo, where are you?" And all that. Those women had this behavior that you are talking about today. That's why today, Namplaje now, they found themselves lonely, or they found themselves with some guy who they don't even know where he came
as
from.
much as okay. Okay. Let me brutally be okay. Maybe are you done with your point?
Yeah, I'm done with my point.
Okay, but as much as we are trying to adjust to I don't want to say strong women or imbokodo, the women who've done everything that a man can do, so you cannot tell her nothing. The ones you want to call feminists. As much as you are trying to adapt to that, same as them, they are trying to adapt to what a man is. You are weak simply because they are used to a man who's stronger, who can supersede.
From where?
No, look, they are used to patriarchy, and therefore, when they see a man, when they reach that level of what a man is currently, then we are still in a position of transition, both of us. And then if I behave like that, oh la la.
Go ahead with that. I'm
Okay,
listening to you.
It's fine, guys. Thank you. Let me try to explain this point. So, Anditi, men were here and women were here in so many things in the society, in social issues, in decision making, in politics, in finances and everything. Now, men were all of these things. So, because of this change of circumstances, things turn up to be like this. And then when a man puts this key, the woman can put the same. When I put this, put the same. We are the same. Then, who's gonna do what to who now? Are you, woman, going to come and propose to me? No. Some of the aspects of human interaction have been left behind in terms of this boldness. In terms of work, we work the same. She's a CA, I'm a CA. She drives a Rolls Royce. I drive a Rolls Royce. We are equal. We got the same kind of amount of money. Then there'll be kids. There are some things that we cannot change in all of this arrangement of new modernism or new way.
I wish we could change that now. As much as women want to change everything, if we could now say, I think we're at equal footing. Can you be pregnant this month? You
can't be that granular, Wayne. So this is where I'm trying to answer your question, but maybe, but it's in a necessary manner. You are adjusting to these women who are bold enough to you. You are adjusting to Lama 2000 that seem like they don't have morals. And then these while you're adjusting to these, what you seem like it's immoral women who are saying, I can dress, this is my body, I can dress like what I want. Back in the day, women didn't have to do what they wanted to do simply because somebody else prescribed what they needed to do.
So as things stand tonight, you are advocating for women as to saying we are not at liberty as men supposedly to say, why would women behave in this manner? Why? Because we are supposed to be the alpha male, and the women are supposed to be a helper. I'm not a Bible fan and all that, but the Bible says God created Adam. Then he decided that after some time that he's gonna give you a helper. Yeah?
It's amazing
Then
how you are
he-
going to quote something that helps your argument from the Bible. But
No, man,
the Bible is
the
very thick.
Bible, for me, the Bible at times it crashes the whole argument, because we're gonna say, if you don't believe the Bible, then let's quote it, but let's not put everything onto the Bible, because the next thing we're gonna say, no, we need to believe God is there and is watching on our marriage, and if you don't go to church, maybe that's why you're not having your life successful and all that. But now God created Adam, then he took a rib and put it on a woman and told Adam, then this is gonna be your helper. But a million years down the line, we don't have helpers now. These people are challenging us.
No, look. Look.
We've got a challenge now. We
Okay. Let me put it this way.
in Africa,
Every
it's
human
a
being,
challenge.
every human being is possessed with a soul. You agree? You have a soul.
Yeah.
A woman
Is this from the Bible now or what?
Wait. It's not
Naturally.
in the Bible. Naturally. A woman has a soul also.
What is a soul, bro?
The spirit, the driving spirit behind a human being.
So we can revert this back to the Bible, where I'm gonna die one day and my spirit remains. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, kind of, but not in the biblical manner. Because you are ready to want to crush me now if I say it's in the biblical manner. But Wayne, what I'm trying to say is, a human being. What is a human being? Maybe I don't want to go to these philosophical questions, because now you force me to be in it. What is a human being? I'm not talking about a man. I'm not talking about a woman now.
A human being will probably just be the flesh and the soul.
Thank you. Then, which can be a female and which can be a male? If your body can be a male or female, but the soul cannot. The soul just possesses the vessel that is the body. We agree. We are on the same.
But where do you put the gay guys in that one?
They still have the soul. Those are human beings. I don't want to elaborate on that one. I don't know much. Okay. But let's talk about the soul now. The soul that possesses a woman and the soul that possesses a man, is it not the same soul?
It should be the same soul.
Thank you. Then why can we, if we're equal on the soul level, must we not be equal on the flesh level? Then it's simply because of our history in the past.
No, it's not because of the history. But the other has got balls. The other one.
What balls got to do with anything? The other one has got boobs.
So, I mean, how many times?
Boobs.
How many times have you come across a situation and they say, this man has had the balls to say this?
No, look. Don't misconstrue the language. The language has evolved into things, to mentioning things that, look, the world has been a playground of men, and therefore they've constructed some terms that really push the agenda of masculinity and patriarchy. So that term that says you got balls and whatnot and all of such, it stems from the previous way of living that is being eroded right now by circumstances and the evolution of humanity. This is not a topic that everybody is ready to talk about or ready to listen to as a man, but as a woman, it will be news to your ears that yes, finally we are being recognized, and we are able to make decisions. Well, without, I don't know. I'm failing to, maybe I've rusted. I'm failing to make a proper argument, or maybe to be eloquent in what I want to say, Wayne.
No, I'm also. You see, you're making very valid points, but you see,
but I'm trying to defend that. I'm trying to explain that feminism from the roots of why you're saying, because now, every time you read that thing, or maybe you want to mention something about the woman, it's always pointing something to negative about where she is failing. You're pointing every time to where she is failing. Have you pointed out where that woman who's got that degree, who's got that money, who's got everything, besides mentioning the vibrator and the cat and loneliness, have you recognized the positive aspects that they are playing? Sometimes in the society, sometimes in their workplace, sometimes they're best managers, sometimes they've made a positive change in life.
So I'm with you
for humanity
on that aspect. I'm one person who advocates for women to progress, especially when it comes to education. You see, I come from a background where my own mother believes her daughters are successful if they get married to a very successful man, a wealthy man.
Do you agree with that one?
And I don't agree to that. I don't agree to that. If my mother could watch this, she would have to put a comment down there. She knows, I tell her all the time. She would say, Habo, kutheni ungaye esantini uyohlala pha uthenge coffee kwaTasha's uzodibana nomfana wase green and white flag pha onemali akuthengela ikofi ne nawe uzohlala kakuhle. That yey, I would prefer a sister ohlala emkokweni, but pushing life and the passion and whatever that she wants.
I respect that. I respect that.
I mean, that guy was saying, when the software is not working, the hardware will suffer. So this is the software, and this is the hardware. I mean, if you now have a woman who is not really using their mind and the brain, my life is supposed to go like this. Down there, it will suffer. Because I mean, men will just want to be inside those pens and they proceed wherever they are going. But this is where now these feminist women come in. It's not that easy. When you go to Groove, when you go to Groove, and ukuwina, I don't know, for those who don't understand ukuwina. You go to Groove, you see a woman, you like her, but the order of today, you can talk to a woman and you go home and do your thing and say, man, we'll meet some other time. There are women that you meet and you can spice them up, or spice them up, whatever it is, with a bottle of Jägermeister and a bottle of that. You marinate them, and already we actually I found a man, I'm not coming home. Then I'm good with this one, we're going home. Then I'm not. You see, the fact of saying women can go with the men that they met on the same night home, it's immoral, but it's happening these days. There's nothing we can do about it. It happens these days. People meet each other, they like each other, then they go home. So that's not the story that's not the bottom line where I'm talking about today. What I'm talking about is the difference in the mindset of women when they meet a man who's got things, roof, and they are willing to do whatever that the man is asking them to do.
Okay.
There are women who will fall for a man's sweet words. Why? Because their background is not that good. She knows if she goes back home, there's another 3 cousins there, there's grandma, things are not that well. Mm-hmm. And she sees this well-dressed man, this fine-looking gent, and she feels, at least if I go with this guy, Probably I
I'll
just
have
give him
breakfast
sex.
in the
It's just sex that I'm gonna
I'll
give
have
him.
breakfast in the
Breakfast
morning.
in the morning. Probably he's got all these other cool dudes. We're gonna go out and chill, go waterfront, and they're driving that nice car, and at least I've got pictures to take and put on social media. That's one woman with that thinking. Then there's that other woman who might fall for the trap of a man with sweet words, but she knows exactly what she's doing. Like, don't think I've mentioned this in another podcast where I said men like to look at nice things. That's why women wear makeup. And women like to hear nice things. That's why men lie. So half the time when you talk to a woman, worse when you want to quickly get a 50% of stuff that you're going to tell her, you're going to lie. But some women are sorted. These feminist women, they'll take you to their places. They know exactly what they want. She just wants a bang on that night, and she understands what is happening. She's not hungry. She's not looking for a tall, handsome guy with beards and all that. She knows exactly what she's doing. Well, this is where I support. Where I'm going with this story is, at times I get to support the feminist women. Why? Because they fall into the trap of a man, and they know exactly what they are doing. Why? Because she's got the money. She's got a beautiful flat. She's got a beautiful car. So if a man comes through and try to spice himself and look as is Jesus on that night, she's going to admit to have that man in her life solemnly because she needs to have a bang on that night.
Okay.
I don't know if
I got you. No, you have a point. You have a point. But I want to add on it, maybe. You know, when you are successful, you've worked hard. You've sacrificed a lot in your life, and you have a lot to lose. It means that you are going to be very careful on who you bring into your life.
At what age is this?
Wait. I'll mention this. I'm not mentioning any gender. I'm not mentioning anything. When you've worked hard, you're successful. You've got a lot to lose. You know what you want. You cannot just let anybody in your life. Then you as a man, you as a man, you approach a woman who sees red flags in you, and then simply because of protecting herself, and then now you are calling her a feminism, and then she's gonna sleep with a cat, she's gonna be lonely, and she's all of that thing. This to me is a, guys, now for me, there's something that they call a pull her down syndrome, or pull him down syndrome. Kuthiwe mhlawumbe umzekelo wena uyambona ubani upase ngebachelor esikolweni, abanye bathi yo yazi phofu akathanda usebenzisa i-roll on. Ingenaphi le nto lena? Simply because thina sinale culture, thina as African people, where when a person seems to be perfect, we want to try and mention something negative about them, all in the name of saying, well, she's not that perfect, way too siyafana song, and kind of. So I think this thing of saying these women will regret one day, they will sleep with a cat and use a vibrator, is part of that pull her down syndrome, that she should get down from her high horse of some kind. But people conceal it ngendlela yoba ibe ngathi she is the one. You blame her over how you feel about her. Yes, you are overwhelmed by her success, that you want to blame her for it, and then mention these things, that she's going to use a vibrator at the end of the day. She's going to sleep with a cat and be lonely and regret. Regret what?
So,
This
I don't know.
this is bitterness of humanity
I-
that you are not. Why are you highlighting that part of loneliness and everything?
You see-
there are so many other things that you could mention about her that she's nailing, and then you could
see,
say, I congratulate her on this, achieving that. Why must you run to that one of being lonely?
I'm not sure, because I also explained whatever that I explained for almost 2 minutes. And you also explained what you explained. You
Okay.
explained for almost 2 to 3 minutes. It seems like we are chasing the tail now. Because so I mean, as much as you want to advocate for
It's a pull head down syndrome. This thing, that line that says she's gonna be sleep with a cat. You are being spiteful. You are not getting what you want from her simply because she's protecting all of what she had worked hard for. Now you want her to be. Now you're bitter. You're saying, this one, she's gonna sleep with a vibrator. She's gonna use a vibrator and sleep with a cat, and with regrets.
so a woman is designed at some point to be with somebody of the opposite sex, whether successful or not successful.
Okay.
So if they so happen to, you see, women, when they get to be successful in life, they don't see a need for a man in their life, because she becomes a man herself.
No, you guys are just used to picking the low-hanging fruit. That's all. Because women who have not worked hard to be very successful, they are gullible and easily accessible. That is the low-hanging fruit that you guys opt for. The ones who know what they want. Once a woman knows what they want, then a man's like, that one is gonna.
So I wish we had a successful woman here who is lonely. We don't have to put her in camera and she talks there.
Do you know
You'll be shocked.
No,
I know a lot. I know a lot. By Temba, they were go at that place.
Same here, I know. These are intellectuals that cannot be with that just any insipid of a guy. And then guys, they just want to do is bang and everything and whatnot. And then you guys are opportunistic. But now this one is very intelligent. Now she can see how shallow men can be. And therefore, she's trying to pick the best of the crop. And then the most of the crop is
but
like trash.
You cannot say now guys want to just bang and leave and all that. I mean, that's the order of the day. I mean, when she was 20...
That woman does not want bang. She wants love.
She's too late to be choosing bang and love. Because at 20, they have a pool of men. You know...
Which could potentially distract her from what she wants to do.
Yeah, but it's allowed. Because at that age, she needs to go through that phase and... it's allowed. Then, bruh, I've been naughty in my life. This is the point where now I don't know if it's the beer now that I'm drinking today that I start talking about being naughty in my life, but I've had things going on with certain women who I thought they were feminists, and we would party and smoke weed and smoke this. And after some time, you call them, they say, no. I'm in my house and my kids and my husband. I'm married. And I'm thinking, what? There's a ninja who took this woman and everything was fine. They did, like, look at Annelem Dodd. She, after all these years of being feminist and talking this and recording this in an Uber, she had, I don't know, more than 20 cows that went, unless if it was an AI edited video that I saw. She had 20 cows. Do you know the Annelem Dodd wedding last week?
I didn't know.
No, Annele got married last week.
What?
Annele got married.
All right.
If you can Google that on Twitter. And like 15 to 20 cows. Zamba namanqina kanje cross to Kwamdota. But when you listen to Anita talking about, she's another feminist, that one. But, well, by the end of the day, there's one guy who comes there and understands her, and she's married today. And I don't know why. Oh, okay. So that the debate gets interesting. You see, I don't like how women have turned out to be today, thinking after attaining all these degrees that our great-grandmothers didn't have and they have today, they want to equate themselves to fill the role of a man. You see, yes, you can do that.
Look.
But at some point, reality will knock into your head and tell you, no, this is not how life.
And what is that reality?
Biologically, we are designed to have our life progress with somebody of the opposite sex.
Go on.
But now, if you feel I don't need anybody of the opposite sex because I've attained 1 or 2, 3, but that 1 or 2, 3 won't make any sense 3, 4, 5 years later because you are aging.
No, look. I think where you're trying to go to when I win is you cannot make a baby on your own. You will need a vagina will need a penis at some point, which is a fair fact. I get that. But that is the only part. That is the only part that is different between me and a woman and a woman. Ne? But it doesn't mean that mine is more superior than hers or hers is more superior than mine. These things, if we want to reproduce or want to do anything, then we can merge these parts. But it does not say anything about a human in the flesh. Wayne.
We don't want people like Humes or in the society.
Why?
Basically what you are saying is you are supporting the fact that women today are fine staying as single mothers.
No.
Why? Because at the end of the day, she doesn't need anybody's penis for reproduction. She can just have her kids and stay alone. No. We need parents to be both present. We have mentioned this in previous podcasts.
What does both mean in this DNA?
A he and a she.
What about a he and a he? Or and a she and a she?
You were quoting the Bible earlier on. Does the Bible allow that? You said you have a strong belief of the Bible.
I think we're slowly treading into a terrain that is going to get us in trouble. Well, Wayne, as much as you have facts that I agree on, but for the sake of
a man and a man can have a child.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. But in these societies and what things have been approved here, they are a man and a man can get married now. You've seen that a woman and a woman getting married, adopting kids. Watch the other episode. My Feminism is my what? The other one with Rachel Sihlali. It's on these sagas of couple. There are two women who are gay, who are lesbian. I'm not sure they are. Yeah, I don't know lesbian and what. But they got they got married. They want kids. Both of them, they want kids. So now the interesting part of that is that they cannot impregnate each other. Then the other one says, no, I want this one. I want your kid to have my blood. And then the other one is like, I also want your kid to have my blood. And then this is an impossible case, right? So the other one says, no, we can ask your cousin or your brother to donate a sperm to me. Therefore, we got 25% of my genes with you. Wow. They are like, no, we can always both be pregnant at the same time, girl kind of vibe. And then go and watch that episode. it was
I didn't finish that episode. Funny enough, I didn't get
finish that. You'll hear that. There's something of that nature that happens there. So they can both be pregnant and then pregnant by maybe finding a sperm, donating a sperm and whatnot. Same applies now that a man can go and adopt a kid. Two guys, they go into an orphanage or wherever they adopt kids and say, we want to have a kid. We are a married couple. We earn this much. We have a house. We have a stable environment for a kid. And they pick a kid there and raise that kid. This is where I'm coming from with this. I'm not saying they will screw and have a kid.
That's what they call surrogates.
That kind of stuff. But biologically, a man and a man, it's impossible for them to have a kid. So I don't know. That's why I'm saying we are navigating into a terrain that we're not gonna know. We're gonna get in trouble. People that know about this, you know that group is gonna lash on us.
Yeah, but by the end of the day, Mnamzo, what I wanted to say is, you see, from our previous podcast, we've mentioned this, that what prompted us to come up with these discussions and have sagas of couplehood is that we noticed that life has evolved, which I would give a thumbs up to Mzo. He did school me that at times we do not need to panic as to how life has evolved. It's allowed. Life has to evolve. But probably people like myself have been overtaken by events, and some events that happen now. And we, people from the 80s, it looks like it's taboo when you mention now, like, a man and a man are trying to have a child and all that. Man, my grandfather was going to hit you like a snake. You come and tell him, this is my boyfriend. Want to have a child with him. So we got overtaken by events. So now we get to learn about these things and all that. But again, it's the feminism where we have women who are proud to be women themselves and they feel they've achieved ABC. And half the time they don't feel like they don't really need a man in their life.
They cannot take nonsense. Let me rephrase that one.
So
those women
that have got men are taking nonsense.
No, it's just that they've got well, we got different requirements as people.
No, but why are these successful ones that special?
Now,
why are these successful ones? Why are they that wow compared to the types. One from Etofimvaba?
You've got types, Wayne, now.
Types, not they're selection.
Types and selections. You've got those things also. But it's just that now you are a guy, you feel like you are entitled to have those things. What makes you think that a woman cannot have?
But why is it only certain type of women?
They've raised the bar for themselves.
That's where and why we are sitting here and discussing about those particular women. Why is a woman in Guletu and working at some corporate company there and driving a Cherry and everything different from a woman who is in Eastern Cape called Tofimvava? And why are they different? They can be approached by the same men, but the response will be different and the requirements will be different.
Well, on their human level, they are the same. But on their ability to have choices, they are different.
Why?
A woman who is in Tofimvaba may be limited by a lot of things. She may literacy levels can limit them in terms of the choices of the partners that they can date. But the other one has got no limits. And then as a result, she has a muscle to stand on her own in terms of dictating how her love life is going to be.
Will you agree with me that these type of women that you are telling me, talking about today, will got the muscle to detect.
To dictate how they
This is only
they want to shape their
now
life
in the 20th
They've been-
century.
Look, you cannot tell a woman who's been shaping her life for the past 10 to 20 years. Now she's going to allow a Wayne to come and take the steering wheel. Never. It's not going to work. No. It's either you are a co-pilot or you are a passenger.
Do you know there are certain countries, I think it's in Palestine, when you go into a bus, as a woman, you're not supposed to sit in the front end of the bus. Or
stop promoting this 1818.
No. It's still happening now in Palestine. I don't promote it, but I still feel women from there, they have a different mentality from the women that we're talking about today. And women from there, their marriage setup and whatever setup that they have as to family values should be way different from how these are women who now have adapted to the 20th century lifestyle of them having attained a degree and I have a degree, I have a car, I have this. Let's not promote that. This will leave us with a vast of single mothers. Because by the virtue of promoting, empowering women of today, they get so powerful that they don't feel a need for a male figure in their society. They feel they are the men. They are the. How many times you see on social media these girls like, mama, she was my mother, she was my father. It's wrong. It does not have mama who is going to be a mother and a father. A mama cannot be a mother and a father. A father has to be a father, and he's different from mom. A father plays his own role as a father. But now, feminists try and promote a certain aspect about there's really no need to have a man in your life. You can be successful and be alone.
As a man, is there a need to have a woman in your life?
We both need each other.
No, you can be poor and be alone.
Why are you now putting poor? You see now you're actually contradicting yourself. Meaning if you're poor, you cannot have anybody in your life.
No, wait.
Because I don't see why a man should be alone at a certain...
The reason I put poor is that a woman, when they are poor, then they must have a man. And then, by virtue of what you're saying, a woman who is rich, she must have a man.
No.
She doesn't have to.
Equally,
same applies as a poor man.
Equally, the world is designed in a way where it's at a certain age, biologically, biblically, we are supposed to...
It. The number of women outweighs the number of men.
You see,
where are we going with this?
When I'm so these feminist women of yours that you're talking about, they forget that a man has a financial clock, and a woman has a biological clock.
Okay.
So I could be 60 today. I can marry a 20-year-old girl.
Of course. I get that.
Because
how did we get
financial clock?
Okay.
Now a woman has a biological clock.
You got a point there.
From 17 to 24, she is at prime. Everybody wants her. If she posts a video on YouTube, she's got 30,000 likes in a month. 10 years down the line, she posts a video. The numbers are decreasing. Then she has to go for a BBL and put some drawing, some makeup and all that. But she's still struggling. These are the women now who when they were successful in that prime, were saying, "I don't need a man."
No, they were young at the time. They were not successful.
No.
Young women. You are talking about women that are not successful. They are okay. They are still hopeful in life. They still weigh their choices. So you cannot come here and
Mamel. So, I'm not worried about the women who are young. From 17 to 24, I'm fine with those.
Okay.
They're at their prime. They can do anything. They chat with 12 men at one goal. They have to change their faces. Late. And time. Lunch. Those are, that's a different phase altogether. Now, and they don't even understand life, those women at 20. I mean, they don't know what they are doing after that. When she's now 25 going up, she's done now with the first bachelor's degree. She's probably going for the second degree, third degree, 30 years. Those now start to be feminists. She's got one child, and now nobody's looking at her because of whatever she's been going through. Now she starts, men are dogs. I'm now Dias, single mother.
No, Wayne. You know what this says to me? It says that obviously this woman who has widened her brain like this, she can see a whole lot of she can discern a whole lot of things or societal issues. She's got a brain that can dissect how a man's brain works. She analyzes things, which is why it's not easy for her to just settle for any nonsense. She can see that this one, Wayne, okay, he comes and does this, that. Now, I'm not gonna settle. I'm not gonna settle here. Then, because the higher to you go in this pedestal of success, is the more you want the refined things. What men? How many men are refined out of all of these men?
So
this is where this is going.
You are 100%. The higher you go in this mjolo, this is where you refine.
It's where you want to refine your selection.
But now,
and therefore,
it's a disadvantage for a woman. Why? Because
for all of us.
No.
For all of us.
Not for all of us. Now we come back to the biological clock.
It goes.
A man has a financial clock.
Okay.
So I can realize my mistakes and go and do a heist there, cash in transit. I get $1 million from that car there. Then I buy a house in Kemp's Bay and everything.
Okay.
Then I'm back.
Yeah.
But now,
you're okay.
If you're a woman,
you are biologically okay.
Yeah.
But wait. Are you aiming to find love now at your age 68? Simply because you are still you still get an erection, you still get what? It's not love anymore, but it's just screwing.
You are the person who told me that we should admit that life has evolved. So don't ask me about finding love today, because I don't think anybody is finding love today. Finding love today, finding love today. We're not finding any love today.
Okay.
I don't know what setup we have with whoever we have.
There was, but I'm trying to say, actually, a man who's 68 right now, who's been sexually active from the age 17 or 16 or 14 to 68, somewhere, somehow, out of this screwing business he's been doing, somewhere, somehow, Cupid has struck his heart and fallen in love with someone, but maybe heartbroken, whatnot. Your ability to attract women and have relations with women has got nothing to do with love. So there's an angle
in life.
There's an angle that I want to put you into. The angle that I want to put you into is that this woman that you think that her biological clock is outdated or whatever the case, She may not have found love. And that love does not have anything to do with sex, with their ability to bear kids or have sex. So there are higher things in the dimension of life than those of the physical nature. Don't get me started with full philosophy. I think this one is doing something massive.
Let's carry on a bit. Maybe it's another 10 minutes.
Okay.
So I wanna this day and age, you love you know a while, man. Let's not waste each other's time here.
It's there. Love will always be there.
You love once in life, Mzo.
But it will always be there.
Yabona, after that, I need to find a word in the dictionary. I don't know what. Because in life, you need to love once. You love once, Mzo, in life.
Where does that come from?
Mzo, there's this person that you knew you just see their picture, you smell their sweat, you can't even eat and you think of them. You did that once. Don't tell me you did that twice.
There is more than one kind of love. I think
there is more.
Who sings that song?
More than one kind of love. This is not just that.
Yeah, there's that song.
Yeah, I know
so
that song.
What I'm trying to say is that no. There's been many times. There's been many times.
No.
No.
All the
disagree with this one. It's not one time.
All the other times, though, you thought you were in love. You were not in love.
Choganj.
Oh, man, you just protecting your interests.
What about the people that are in East Tembu?
Man, don't even mention those. When you tell me Zuma now has got 6 wives, or 5 or 6 now. You tell me, and he's got even the first wife that he divorced. What's the name? No. What was Zuma's first wife? That lady who is in parliament? No, Zuma's got a wife who is in parliament, whatever. Nkosazana Zuma. This nigga is what, 73 or so? He had a wife and broke up, but still he has another 5. His love, he left it there. Nkosazana. Not even Nkosazana. Even before Nkosazana. Here, at this whole crew here, it's just him being horny. And I mean, being a black man, most black people and wealth. Black people. I don't lie to you. If I make $1 million today, you won't be surprised that I'm going to have 5 women that I'm going to marry and stay with. I mean, you understand?
I just did say, I was hoping that you're not going to say that. Wait.
Even you, so when you get $1 million today, I'll be visiting you with your 5 wives there.
Why don't you have 9 million?
I can tell by not having 5 wives that you don't have $1 million.
Okay, you're being too smart for me. Okay, all right.
You can tell a black woman that he's got $1 million by the number of women that he has. You can't have 5 women with a salary. Not with a salary. You need to pay $1 million plus. Then you can accommodate.
Yeah, ne?
But I think
no. This is good. This is good. We have an episode. We got something that
guys. We're not that fresh, and we
no. Speak for yourself. I'm my opinions are as refined as ever.
Okay. Can you check? I'm not really having a wine today.
He's not doing
why? Because I didn't have a wine glass, and today I had to drink this. I won't mention what I'm drinking, but I'm drinking a beverage.
Excuse my partner these days. Yeah, that's the beverage. That's why we are not having this thing. Let's round this up.
I'm rounding it up now.
For me, guys, a person who's going to say a successful woman has got regrets, and then sleeping with a cat and a vibrator is just a hater. and then that person is having a pull head down syndrome. They are not having their wits together. They need to balance their ego, because I mean, you are doing you. Somebody else is analyzing how you are doing you. No, you shouldn't settle. Women, feminism, do it.
You guys know Mzo with these big words.
Stingy Men's Association.
Yeah, this one is also actually a member of Stingy Men Association. He's a chairman there. I wonder how he comes in and advocates for women and say, he wants women to be all that great and be alone if they feel men are not being supportive. Well, I don't know, but in Nengisho namhlanje is, guys, no matter how much success you get as a woman, bow down to a man, because the Bible says the man is the head of the house. God created Adam and he decided he wants to have somebody to assist Adam. Then he came up with Eve. He took a man's rib to frame up Eve. But now I wish this God is probably not there anymore. Why? Because these people that we gave our rib to, these people are misbehaving. These people are misbehaving. I need to check out.
Gonna have to cut that part.
But again, I'm trying to, we're on what, 1 hour 16 minutes. Yeah, no, we need to cut it. Give the closing, Baba. Give the closing.
All right. Thank you so much, guys. We are back by popular demand, and we are here again
to stay. So, namhlanje, it was the feminist women. We not. Okay, what is the opposite of a feminist? What
masculinity?
Oh, so if you're a guy who
I tried to put that agenda to oppose this, but it didn't succeed with you. You were strongly.
We were balanced. We were balanced. Put your comments below. Tell us what is going to happen. Tell us if you've got a topic that you want us to discuss about. Even if you want to feature in any of the topics, tell us. We invite you to come and feature. We've got no problem. We'll sponsor that featuring and getting you here to talk about. We fine to talk about any topic as long as it's a saga within a couple and couplehood.
Yeah.
You good?
Good.
But wait. So, next time. DJ Wicked, Nomzo, Papai.
Shebo.